I live up on Grandview Lodge Road.
How you doing?
Mike Coleman, I live on Kingdom Road.
Frank DeJerry, I live on 100.
100, we're on 100.
4342.
Okay.
You know that house.
Rick Martin, I live on Lions Hill and I own Chloe's Market as well.
Bruce Bawley, I live up on Windy Lane.
I'm Erica Bizawi. I don't know if we're going
I live on
around.
Kingdom Road.
I live in
I'm Brian Cole, I live on Kingdom.
Last name?
Bizawi, B-I-Z-O-U-I.
And could you tell us a little bit about what you'd like to do?
We'd like to build a garage, it's 20 by 20, with, I believe, a 4-foot lean-to, kind of an overhang, so one side would be, longer than the other, actually 24 by 20, I guess, if you include the lean-to. And we have some photos, and some basic kind of the property lines here, and some basic drawing of the structure. It's
Do you have some pictures?
yes, and there's some pictures here too. Should I just give you the pictures?
Yeah.
Or the rest of the whole package.
No, we got the package.
So that's, I have written on there where the picture's taken from, and I kind of have written drawn with a marker, my rough estimation of where the garage is, where we're hoping to set the garage.
And that's the view of the pond in the back? Okay.
That's from the site, yes, that's from the site of.
Okay, and this is the entrance, your driveway.
That's Colby Pond
Yeah, I
from where
see
you're
that over
looking,
there.
so yes,
So this
towards.
is your driveway going, or is it?
That's Kingdom,
No,
Kingdom
this-
Road.
Let's
Our
see.
driveway is actually, you can't
Oh,
really see
okay.
it. It's actually between
I
these two
see.
trees.
Okay, cool.
But I would take a picture from the
Oh, I
pond, but it's
see.
kind of
Okay.
down the bank from there, so I just took it
Uh-huh.
from the entrance. From down the bank, you can't really see, from at the actual access, you can't really see the house
Yep.
or the garage or anything, so I didn't bother taking a picture from there, so.
What is the setback? 250 feet.
Thank you, so.
I see.
Will you be cutting down any trees?
We do have a cherry tree that's gonna have to get cut down, and
That we
there's,
planted like 10 years, or 20 years ago.
yeah.
How old was it? How old?
It's 20 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
And then balsam fir, I believe, is gonna have, well, it doesn't really have to get cut down, but it's good, it's kind of close to the site, and it's not super healthy, so it makes me nervous. So that might have to go too, I think.
Down with the evergreens.
Yeah,
The
it's,
greens are never good close to buildings.
no, and it drops a branch every now and then, and it's, I don't know, balsam fir, it seems like kind of a low elevation for balsam fir. I thought they were more of a high elevation tree, but. So those two trees likely.
As far as the garage doors, which direction would they be facing?
So from this,
If you look
uh,
at this picture, maybe
facing Writing Pond Road, basically.
facing this road?
No, this.
Oh,
So the house,
and is this your house?
There's a garage like that.
should be.
It's not labeled on the outside.
No, I think that square is the house.
No, I'm just
And
trying
that's
to
where the
understand.
garage
Yep.
is gonna be?
Oh.
I noticed that when I looked at
Maybe
this.
that's-
Now I know
To
where you
scale, it's not really keep it to
Well, it's
scale.
quite a hill here.
Because this is actually 3 acres, so our house would be really big if.
Damn dog.
Is it just like the property line?
Yes.
This rectangle?
Boy, if Denny has kids down there.
So facing west would be the garage door.
Okay.
And that's me.
Meeting on road,
Mhm.
okay.
And it's only a single level garage?
Yes, there's no upstairs. I mean, the rafters will probably be storage, but other than that, it's
How far is it, the garage from the house?
about 100 feet.
100 feet. And is there,
So is it 20 by 20, or is it, did I hear you say 24?
Yes, 20, here's a kind of a,
I was looking at this, and it's.
Oh,
20 by
that's the
20.
same,
Oh,
yes.
the 4 is this, okay.
yes,
yeah,
so that's
all
a
right.
lean-to. kind
That's
of,
not,
unit.
yep, okay, got it.
And that lean-to is open through?
Yes,
so does that count as part of the structure when it's an open thing like that? It's basically just an overhang.
It does, because of they measure the edge of the drip edge down to the ground. So this may be
oh, that would be.
24 foot 4 or something.
Yeah,
A couple of, inches for an overhang.
Okay.
yeah, the overhang may be
Square feet.
12 inches, but at an angle, so
Yeah.
the actual footprint might be less than 12 inches, I'm not sure.
And the reason we do measure it like that is so the listers can jack up the price.
Yeah,
Well, it's also impermeable surface supposedly, unless the wind's blowing hard.
Exactly.
right.
I have a
Right
shed
on.
like that too.
Oh, does it get
My
wet
wood shed.
sometimes?
Well, I stack the wood on what would be the outer edges of
Yeah.
that, so it doesn't, but, yeah.
Mike, could you refresh my memory? What is the setback from
60,
the pond, shoreland overlay?
250. No. 250 was the old standard where it's in the overlay, 75 feet to the edge of the water.
So, I don't understand the reason
Why they're here?
why there is, a variance here.
Because the
They're well away from the pond.
The overlay is 1,000 feet on the overlay map.
You just need a permit
Just need a permit.
if
It's
you're in the
allowed, but it
shoreline
needs a
overlay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought for some reason we changed that to 250. I'm gonna have to check with Two Rivers on that.
Yeah. Well,
So why do we need conditional use because of that?
Because it's
Because it's
within
in
the
the
overlay,
shoreline
yeah.
overlay.
his whole property then is within,
Probably.
so it wouldn't make any difference where on his property he located.
Not a lot.
If we moved it, no.
I think the purpose of the shoreline overlay was to kind of disguise no more houses on the water,
Yeah.
basically. It was,
It
It's
expands
logic.
the floodplain without getting FEMA involved.
that was another one, yeah. Well, you're up, I'm up higher than you are, but
Yeah,
you're up quite a ways.
from the pond. What is the term overlay? What is that referred to?
Overlay, there's several overlay districts in the town. One of them being the Coolidge overlay.
Anything within a certain distance of the Coolidge Homestead thing, or within Woodward Reservoir,
So
or
that's a restriction
Echo
of
Lake,
so
any
many
of those,
feet
yeah.
from any given,
Well, also, in the case of the Coolidge, it's the architectural structure. For example, you couldn't build a container house up on Messer Hill Road.
okay. But you could build something that's
Yeah, pole barn,
historically,
Uh-huh.
interesting.
I was asking for an entertainment.
Yeah.
And the flood overlay is to expand the protection zone around rivers based on
Oh,
the most
sure.
recent storms.
So building in that area, yeah, that
An
restricts any,
example, where I am, Money Brook coming down, or in most areas, the streams coming down from the mountains are the problem. The rivers don't really flood that much, but it's all the water coming perpendicular to the river. So by expanding those areas, you're protecting properties from being flooded down, not necessarily in a FEMA designated flood zone.
gotcha. Yeah, like the house next to Muddy Brook. Right now, that's full of rocks.
Right.
Scott Terrace is a perfect example. One side of the road is in FEMA floodway, and the other side is not. By having the town's ordinance, the development can be regulated.
Sure.
For example, the doctor, Dr. Dalton, built down there, and one of the requirements were that they raise their house up
Oh,
in that, even though they're in the flood, they're not in the flood overlay, the FEMA flood overlay, but they're in the town's overlay, and they had to raise their house up, I believe it's 2 feet?
Can't remember.
Are they down by the water? I thought they were up on the hill.
Dalton is, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they rebuilt the camp. Do we have any more questions?
I don't, so this, on this map here, Brian, that you can't, this one here, the bold face, this is the house, right? And that's the garage? Or is it vice
The
versa?
bold one
Is the
is
house?
the proposed garage.
Oh, that's the
The
proposed.
house is the
That,
back there, yeah.
okay.
I know because I already is.
I wasn't eavesdropping, so I should have.
Anything else, Frank?
Straightforward.
Pretty
Bruce,
simple to me.
Pretty simple.
Okay, Brian, thank you very much for coming in tonight. And we're gonna have a discussion of, basically a deliberation,
sure.
and then I'll let you know tomorrow,
Okay.
or tonight, or,
Well, thanks for all your time.
well,
Yeah,
thank
but-
you.
but
Thank you
we
for
did-
bearing with us.
Do we know when you're planning to do
Uh,
this?
As soon as possible.
We're kind of waiting on the permit before rushing anyone. But
okay.
LaValle's is, basically has our order, and the excavator is lined up, but not, we don't have him on a date, starting date or anything like that.
It'll be done by the end of the year by snow, right?
LaValle's was thinking by the end of November, they were hoping to have it done, yeah. Or sooner if everything, if we can get the site prep ready and.
So you have it in your garage. That's
Well, and,
always
yeah,
the nicest thing.
That's the idea, and actually, the salesman at LaValle's contacted me last week and said, do you have your site ready? And I said, no, not yet. Yeah, we're waiting.
We had that hideous shed and I made him take it down. And now all of his work tools are going in our wood shed, so it
You
would
know,
be nice.
we can make you take it down, too, if you like.
Yeah, it was probably,
It was
A violation.
Hideous. It was hideous. It was such an eyesore.
Are you building this yourself?
no, LaValle's is doing
LaValle's.
it,
The valley does it?
yeah,
Oh,
so, excuse me. But we'll end up doing some odds and ends, like painting it and things like that, so. It's coming, yeah, what we ordered was shiplap, just pine shiplap, so it's gonna need some stain or paint of some sort.
That'll look nice.
Yeah,
Nicer
it's-
than the T-111 does.
Yeah, I
That's
didn't
what
wanna
we
go with the
thought,
T-111,
too.
but
Yeah.
it is comes painted, so that's a convenience, but it's also kind of looks like plywood, so I don't know. You wanted an upgrade from the old crappy shed, so that's,
Anything was an upgrade.
so yes, thanks again for
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
having us. Have a good night.
You too.
You can, TV, you can pack up and go home if you'd like. We're all done.
That's it, all right, I'll stop recording.
Yeah. Oh, there is one thing we talked about before you came in. Do we want to start like at 6 or
We
6:30?
talked about it, yes, I'm fine with it. Ann wasn't here when we talked about it.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, that's okay with me. I usually go to the KPAA Association mixers on the first Tuesday of the month, which is where I was before I came here, but that's
Oh,
all
I-
right. No problem.
Does 6
It's
o'clock?
nicer to get
reasonable?
home earlier,
Mhm.
especially in
I
the
like-
dark.
That'd be nice.
So if someone could make a motion, I guess.
I move that we start our future meetings at 6 PM
And I shall second it.
on the first Tuesday of each month.
And if we don't have I'm totally stuck here. And who seconded? Rick. And if we don't have a hearing, do we want to come in and just, have cookies and milk?
It's up to you guys.
I leave it to your discretion.
So you leave it up, I'll bring the food from the store. How's that?
There's nothing really overly pending that we have right now. There's been 2 individuals up on Messer Hill by Coolidge that have expressed interest in a garage. And then there's one individual on Woodward, where the little red house is, and then the garage is right next to the road.
Uh-huh.
That's interested in redoing that camp, but we haven't seen any plans, and it's so hard to, when they call and they ask, well, we'd like to put an and this, that, the other thing, and send the plans, buddy.
That one house that they we did, right overlooking the lake, where they just put the foundation in,
Uh-huh.
it's none of our business, but one of the rules of foundations is you do not backfill before the first floor is in. And I saw that, and I have analyzed and many of those failures, and it's bad practice.
It
But,
is.
hey,
I can remember framing my first floor. Well, you had the same thing, you had to frame yours, and they had to put a step in it, didn't they? In the concrete, to hold the
Oh.
new addition.
Yeah, but that we knew about. So my original house had a 4-foot crawl space, and we put the main house now next to it. But we didn't want to excavate right up to the old foundation wall because the new basement was going to be deeper. So we built what Lee calls a buttress. It's about a 3.5-foot deep retaining wall and
It's
filled it
underpinned.
up with gravel
Yeah.
next to the original foundation, so we wouldn't,
but a basement wall is not designed as a retaining wall. It's a
No.
braced wall.
Okay, yeah.
But
yeah, so when you've got it standing there all by itself and you fill it up. I was just reading a cool article, and are we done so you can go?
Yes, yeah, we're,
Thank
yeah.
you, guys.
Yeah.
Adjourned.
I was just
brainstorming.
reading a cool article, and I can't remember, was it Times or Post, Washington Post, but it's a